Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers. I'm wearing my JoyToy Iron Wrecker 06 hoodie. But today I'm looking at Iron Wrecker 07 Space Operations Mecha. I am so looking forward to it. I think it looks awesome. The artwork looks amazing. The pictures I've seen look amazing. You see some of it on the back, not a lot. Still wrapped in its cellophane. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to release this from its plastic prison, turn the camera around, and let's get into this review and let's take a look. So before I open it, let's just take a look at the box. You can actually see inside now. This window opens up. You can see the Mech inside there. I love those sort of claw hands, that nice sort of gold sort of visor at the top, really reminiscent of like a sort of a spaceman visor toy. Obviously this is 1/24 scale, but I'm hoping there's a removable seat inside so your 1/18 figures can fit in. I'll be looking at that in a moment. Looks fantastic. I love the look of that sort of shoulder cannon or back mounted cannon there as well. Oh, this is going to be awesome. Okay, so hold on to your horses. I'm about to open this bad boy up, so let's come back in an instant and take a look. Okay, so here we are. That took a little longer than I would have liked to assemble. It's mostly pre-assembled, so wasn't a lot to do, but instructions are wrong. If you see here, can we focus in? It shows you the assembly, how to assemble to put the gun in, but then you see the assembly for the gun going in here. It's different. You see this one, the long piece is last, this one, the long piece is not last. There's another piece to go in there, so it's like, huh? Have to take it apart, put it back together again and whatnot. Also, this is showing you the assembly. You have to disassemble this to put this belt section in. And also had a loose bit. One of the bits around the waist was loose, and there was no instructions. So I had to figure out where that went. And it comes as part E2, but no instruction as to where it goes. Obviously, it slots in somewhere. I'd imagine you could replace the gun on the shoulder with this if you wanted, but otherwise I can't see anywhere for it. Okay, so first let's look at the figure. So he comes with 2 pairs of additional hands. 2 are fists and 2 are slightly more tightly closed. He comes with alternative helmet head here, which is not bad, all things considered. And he comes with his rifle, but the stock is slightly too long, so you can't get it nicely in his shoulder, and the sidearm, his pistol in there. So the rifle you can't really hold that well. It needs to have a shorter stock and it'll be easier. The pistol, this hand should be okay, but the other hand might be slightly better because it's tighter. Yeah, this hand he holds it pretty good. So that's pretty good. Okay, so let's have a look at him in a bit more detail. So he does look pretty nice, I have to say. Nice sculpt on the face, despite the size, the armor. The legs, arms, shoulders, pretty damn good. And it appears you can take that vest off too, despite the size. Okay, so articulation on the figure. Looks left and right, up, down. There's a small side to side. Arms all the way around. Shoulders not very far because the pad's getting away. Biceps is about 90 degrees, we can see, which is pretty cool. The waist turn, forwards, backwards, side to side will be more without the vest. Legs don't get far on his right leg because of the sculpt on the belt, and if I put his holster down it'd go a lot further, so that's pretty cool. Hands are just on little joints, so you have to line the joint up and then you can get the hand moving how you want, and you can turn. Also you can twist at the elbow if you want. There's a thigh turn forwards. I'll take this down, not bad. Backwards is all right. As I said, there's a thigh turn. There is a double kneecap, and he gets really tight on that. Not that tight if I was to put his actually more tight probably if I put that up there. So he gets really tight on his knee, which is fantastic for doing some poses. And then we come down to his feet. He has a small tippy toe. His dorsiflexation is also small, but enough for him to fall over. His feet do turn. There's a boot twist, but there's no, or is there? I can't feel any pivot swivel side to side. Pretty decent looking figure. Now, someone asked me the other day to do a comparison with some of the smaller stuff, so I'll do a quick comparison now before we get onto the actual mecha. So this is a 124 scale, I believe. Or is it 127 scale? I think it's 124. The old stuff is 127. So this is 124 scale or thereabouts. In fact, the box might even tell me if I have a look. Does it tell me in the box? 125 scale. So I was close enough. 125 scale. Let's just try and focus in on him again. Okay. Here is a Hexagear early governor, which are 128. Is that right? So very similar in terms of a scaling size, but she will be a touch smaller. But in fact, she can work in the same universe as him quite easily. Let's get that focus on again. And then someone asked me about comparing Hexagear and Archicore. Well, Archicore is 135, so they're tiny, but they are the most articulate of the bunch. They can work together depending on your imagination and your universe. So you see a little size comparison of figures there. Now, speaking of Archicore, they do have the Frostlight sort of transforming truck mech, which I've got down here, with one part of his expansion on, his big arm. So you get an idea of this size comparison, and we can see, if I get this stand up, that he is actually bigger than the Iron Wrecker 07, the space operations mecha. But they could work together, same universe, quite happily. Okay, let's look at our mecha in details. Now, I had these parts left over. So a connector, and another connector, which is always nice to have extra parts. And also one here, which is for the ammo belt, which is already attached with all the connections it needs. This one here is ammo belt again, so you connect two parts, one this side and one that side. And I'm using one you can see up here already. And the only other things apart from that, as I said, was the little man here with his two guns, 4 extra hands, that's 2 pairs of extra hands, and his helmet, and then that part E2, that sort of, I guess, rocket pod, which has no instructions to go, but you could add it anywhere with a little adjustment. I could, in theory, put it on one of those, I guess, but that's the same plug size, so it's not really that needed. Okay, Mecha, first of all, let's start with the good news. It looks amazing. Very, very nice looking. I love that. I'd have preferred some sort of light colouring or blue or plasma colouring inside there, but it does look fantastic. I'll bring him a little bit closer. Not too close, because we want to keep him in camera where as possible. I'll move him back in a second. He does look good. Bad news, he comes apart the waist very easily. He keeps popping out for me. And also, the cockpit is tiny. There is no room for 1/18 scale inside there. So if I come up and come over here, if I have a quick look around there, in fact, let me get the light on and we can have a look inside. There we go. There's no chair or anything. Well, I guess you can sit on that black thing, but there's space behind, so it looks like he's meant to sit behind. Could you get a 1/18? How do you get a 1/18 scale figure inside without taking this whole assembly on the top off? Because you might have space, but it's just going to be very hard to get in and out. But there's no chair that comes out that I can see. That could come out here, but this part here, but then you've got this thin gap on top, so it would not be very easy, which is a shame. So it's not really, or it's not 1/18 scale friendly. Let's go back a little bit. Okay, so let's go back to good news. Go up with this. So the gun is fully articulated. So we look at articulation now. But it might pop apart while articulating it because the joints are quite stiff and you've got to assemble them together. So it will turn left and right. It will go up and down from several joints as well. So it can go to pretty much any angle. Arms. So shoulders go all the way round. The shoulder pad is on the ball here, so it's really, really quite cool. Arms got up far before the shoulder pad gets in the way. Bicep is around about 90 degrees. You can turn from the shoulder. Then you've got these simple big chunky fingers which have just one joint, and that's all you need. They look fantastic. Oops, sorry. Onto the waist, which is a little bit loose. So on the waist, left, right, up, down, and he can turn, but mine kept popping out. There's a silver part inside you can just make out there. Mine was around these feet in the box, so like, where does that go? But I figured out there's a big gap there, and that's where it goes. Well, I'm assuming that's where it goes. So legs. Outwards, these big chunky parts do get in the way, otherwise he'd get to maybe a full splits. So pretty damn impressive. See, it comes off and he'll get to a full splits. So his legs have got good articulation. Now what's nice about the Iron Wreckers is they are cross-compatible with their parts. So you can you can make your own... Struggling to get this back on. You can make your own looking mecha if you want. Let me give this another go. There we go. Okay, there is a twist on the thigh. These engines on the back look nice. Show the back as well. But they will get in the way of his knee bend because the leg will come up. Oh my word, that is super stiff. Let's try the other side. He does have a knee bend. I promise I bent it a second ago. There we go. So knee bend. Now more arm is falling off as I'm trying to let's take it off. It's trying to bend anymore. Goes that far. Not very far, but that's all it needs. Then ankles side to side. They don't have an ankle turn, but they do have a good tippy toe and a very good dorsal flexation. It's a very posable, fantastic looking mech. I just wish that they'd made the cockpit slightly bigger so it was more compatible, or compatible I should say, for our beloved 1/18 scale. But despite that, it does look amazing, and now everything's falling off as I'm trying to repose him again. I do like it. Again, I want 1/18, but I might use some of his parts, like those hands, in some projects in the future or something. I'm not sure. I just wish it was 1/18. I'll keep saying that. It is a great looking mech. But again, the waist is way too loose. But the ankles are really stiff. In fact, I want to look at the back. Is there any easy way to take something off and stick something in? Well, that is a bit loose. It seems like there might be a... There we go. Okay, I take it back. That's how we get him in. There is a clip. But I might take his engine pod out now. It's good to do this. Good to... Let's take this off instead. Good to discover. So you can unclip. Okay, will a 1/18 fit inside there? I think no. In fact, there are some extra details in there which I will take up and show you. You can see that there is a map, or a sort of a screen there, which looks pretty cool. It does look nice. Okay, so let me quickly try and fit a figure in. He will fit in there. He will sit down and fit in there quite easily. But in fact, if I take a 1/18, I'll use this guy here because he's very posable. Will he fit inside this? I think he's going to have the devil's own job trying to fit inside there, but I will try. Oh, he might do it. Let's get his feet to point slightly. No, I tell a lie. 1/18 will fit in there. Well done, JoyToy. You can fit them inside from the back opening, which is a surprising feature. I really didn't think there was going to be the space for it there, as I said earlier. But that is a great surprise, which I'm very happy about. Which means this is now going to go up in my estimation. Purely because of that. Yep, purely because of that. Now, which way do these go? This way or the other way? I forget, doesn't matter. I think it was that way. You know what? It doesn't really matter, does it? Oh, never mind. That way do for now. I think that's upside down on the back anyway. Great looking mech, great features, and the fact that you can fit a 1/18 scale on there just is the added cherry on top, because it really doesn't look like it does. But you have to put them in from the back, not from the front. This is great. Fantastic job by JoyToy again. My hat's off to them. Just wish that waist was tighter. Okay, this is Awesome Action Toys signing out, saying please like, share, subscribe. Check out my other videos. There's loads on the channel, over 1,000 now. And click on the notification icon. I'll be back soon with more Awesome Action Toy videos for you guys. Stay happy, keep collecting. Bye-bye.